I was on Twitch.
YouTube, yeah. Yeah, we're all over the place these days, brother. Just the Sunday show is gonna be there. All right, audio's live and we're starting to count down.
Matches your enthusiasm. I've got a job for you if you're looking to keep busy. Here are the details.
God is taking my check.
Oh man,
what's happening?
No, just you know, getting myself prepared. Getting myself prepared. Oh man, I forgot I forget this. Don't forget when I gotta do our little cheers, you know, from here and there from once in a while. I didn't put no water in. Something to drink.
Oh yeah. I got mine ahead of the side.
There we go. "30 seconds, my friend."
Huh.
Greetings, 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 and welcome to the Soul Voices. I was going to say Soul Citizens, Colossal. But I guess we are still the Soul Citizens, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But this is Soul Voices Day.
Soul Voices, Soul Voices. This is the
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, the inauguration. This is our kickoff of a very new series that we're doing. And
thanks for subscribing, Chippy. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to thank you. By the way, that's probably going to go off several times because there's going to be cheers, there's going to be subscribes, because believe it or not, for some reason or other, YouTube has this weird thing where once you start loading this in, it will go back and it'll start showing everybody's name who subscribed to us. So that means, Colossal, that means that over 1,000 people's names are going to keep popping up until it gets to the end.
So I don't have to keep talking.
So you don't have to keep talking. So just so you know, well, you know what? I've been doing it for, I've like had it on a couple times, trying to hope that it would add up and finally get through them all. And I guess it takes a while. You can see how slow it's going. It takes a while to get through 1,000 names. So we're going to have that chime. You know what I could do is turn the chime off.
Look, and then it won't keep it on. It's just as slow as Yoda was when he retired.
You're starting already. Okay, so what I'm going to do for right now is I'm going to turn off the subscriber chime so that doesn't drive us crazy and like interrupt us through this whole thing. But then I'll have to remember later on to turn it back on. So let me see, is there a none? Is there a none for this? Probably not, right? No, there isn't. That figures. So that means we're going to have to live with this chime until it gets through doing its thing, I guess. I have no way to turn it off.
Fast Cut said that we'll forget to turn it back on. Maybe Fast Cut can go ahead and remind us. You can do it, Fast Cut.
Yeah, okay.
Let us know, buddy.
Well, maybe. Oh, here we go. There. All right. That should kill it. So hopefully we won't hear any more chimes from it. There we go. Beautiful. All right. So we'll just get names coming up. So what it will look like is that people are just subscribing to us every 30 seconds, which would be great. Anyway.
Keep on subscribing, folks. Call your friends, call your wives, call your friends, call your wives. Tell them to come on in.
That's right. Listen, the reason why we call this show Soul Voices is, we have one show on Thursdays, which we call Soul Talk. And that's where we allow the community to come in and talk with us about the latest it's going on in Star Citizen, particularly Star Citizen. And it's usually I don't know, what is like a group therapy session, Colossal? It's like a bunch of folks all together talking with us. But this show's going to be a little different. This one is going to be where we let you come in and talk to us one-on-one. So if you are interested to come in and talk with us about the topic that we're talking about, you will be able to click on the link. You can see it. It is in the YouTube there. It'll bring you into our Discord, and then we'll bring you in, and you may have to wait a few seconds because you're going to be queued up, but we'll bring you in. And if you've got a comment or a question in relation to the topic that we're talking about, it will be your time exclusively. You don't have to share your time with anybody except for us, me and Colossal. And so Colossal has graciously volunteered to help kick off this new series today from our team, but other team members will be here as well. So we just want to kind of get you guys to understand what the difference is between Soul Voices and Soul Talk. Soul Talk is kind of a group conversation. Soul Voices is more of a one-on-one conversation. If you look at the top of the screen, you guys will see it's saying Gaming, Spectrum, and Reddit. That's where we're going to be pulling our information from, more than necessarily CIG. Normally we pull from ISC and from the things that they post, but this is going to be more kind of like, what is the community saying? What are people saying that play Star Citizen, or just about information that's in gaming in relation to either Star Citizen or space genre? So it's going to be kind of a little bit different format, but we hope you guys will enjoy it. Thank you all for being here. Galky, you were here late last night while I was testing. I see you back. 07. Thanks for making it here today. Pops, Fist, I see you guys are here. FC is here as well. So Colossal, you ready to jump into it?
Yeah, ready to go, man. I see it's the usual gang coming out here. Noble, everybody else, and all the good folks. New Soul. We heard music from New Soul. They got it started. We're ready to go, Griff.
Yeah.
On this wonderful Saturday that I can finally be here and enjoy.
And by the way, New Soul wrote that new theme that we opened up with for this show. So that they did, of course, they did the first one, the theme from Star Citizen, but that one where the planets were going and stuff, that was written by them too. So they did an awesome job for that. Even though I know they probably laughed because the background's totally different than what I gave them originally, but it sounds really good. It sounds really good. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and jump in. By the way, for those of you who we've talked about this before, please like and subscribe if you enjoy what you see today. This is our inaugural kickoff for this show. So you could say you were there for the first one, right, Colossal? They were there, right? Whether successful or failure, they were they were there.
Absolutely. It's always good to pat yourself on the back.
There you go. All right, I tell you what, let's go ahead and jump into it. Colossal, I did pull, as you know, from Spectrum, and today we're going to be first talking about stuff from Spectrum. And there was an interesting question that I came across on Spectrum, and I'll read it and get your feedback and thoughts about it. There was a whole lot to this log, so I'm going to read the whole thing, and then I'm going to present the question that you and I'll talk about. This person had posted, recently I went through a bit of an issue with a former org where a real life friend of nearly 15 years freaked out on me. They wished me to kill myself. They rage quit the org just to come back a few minutes later, causing a lot of unanswered questions and drama in the process. Listen, I'm an adult. Not only that, but I'm an older adult who served in the military. I'm used to threats of violence, and while my skin may be slightly thinner than the typical military veteran due to PTSD reasons, I can still take the heat. The situation in question has a lot of nuance to it, and I'd rather not go publishing it all over Spectrum, airing out dirty laundry. But there is a point where is it in the community's best interest? This guy has a habit of destroying everything he touches, and he's essentially, and that's essentially what's happening to a relatively well-operated organization since he's joined. I understand that each of us needs to learn our own way and give those who need it as many chances as possible, but this guy usually leaves a trail of ashes in his wake. So this kind of goes to the question, can anything be done about toxic gamers? Is it appropriate to warn a community, or in the spirit of a blacklist for your organization? So, you know, Colossal, there's all types of people, you know, that come to gaming, right? I mean, young people, older people, working people, retired people. One of the things I think that affected me about this is the difficulty of a question like this, because, you know, we do want to create environments that are healthy, that people can come to. And we know that gaming for many people is a very positive outlook, but we also know that sometimes gaming brings out the worst in people. You got any thoughts about this, and just in general, or this particular question?
So, I mean, this is a lot of organizations. I mean, we've all had Griff, you've created an org, I've created an org in Eve. Mm-hmm. So I know what this gentleman is talking about. But at the same time, even when you're jumping on gaming and you're trying to use it as an escape away from real life, in most cases, in some people's cases, this is their real life. So what you see is what you get. So I try to live, we all try to go ahead and help out each other. We all have stressful lives, and we all try to do things that stay away from that stressful situation. So when you get somebody, you can read them like a book. You can see it, you can smell it from a mile away. Mm-hmm. Usually when they come into your organization and they start, your organization has a model, and you want to try to live by that model. And when you see people coming in and they immediately start clashing with that model, such as bringing a toxic environment, not being a role model, not being a role player with your group, mm-hmm. coming up with different types of situations where it's conflicting with what your group organization and what you stand for, mm-hmm. those are big, huge red flags. And yes, those are some things that I believe that you should have a conversation with your organization immediately. Mm-hmm. You should have some steps in place that would give them some types of, I would say, redirection, mm-hmm. if you will. Mm-hmm. And if they don't follow by those redirection guidance and things like that, then yeah, you should go ahead and do what needs to be done for the benefit of your organization. Mm-hmm. And if you are in a federation, let's say you're in a federation, but this person depends on the situation as well. If this person is completely toxic, which we've seen some toxicity out there, we've seen some Reddit posts, we've seen a lot of these things out there that we could literally sit there and say, yeah, these people are just a detriment to this, not only our organization, but to the community of the gaming industry in which we're playing in right now. Then yeah, I think you do have some bit of a responsibility to let maybe your federation, mm-hmm. meaning a group of people who you play with that are not in your org, and get them aware of maybe a blacklist of people who are completely toxic.
Okay. We got Pops in space in the chat queue. We're going to bring him in just a second. So Pops, we see you. We got you. Just give us a minute here. I have such weird mixed feelings about this because, as you know, as many of you all know, Kelosal and I are both members of Test Squadron. And Test Squadron, we've been in there for quite a while. We've had positions held in the org, and you see a lot of people come and go. You see a lot of things happen. It's interesting that the leader of Test Squadron is Montoya, and you know, there are a lot of times when things have happened in the org that I wanted to react to. You know, I initially wanted to do something, and there were quite many times when I would talk with him, and he would not. What I thought it was is that he wasn't addressing it. But like you said, he's been around long enough to know that there's so much. There's a certain point where you have to treat everybody like adults, right? Because you don't want to find yourself babying and responding to everything that happens in an org. And then there's that threshold, like you're saying, Kelosal. There's a point where things start to become detrimental to the organization itself. And I think even in the post that I read, the person talked about the fact that it wasn't just that they were toxic against them, but that, you know, they've created a total different atmosphere in the organization. And the question becomes, and I guess they're saying, should you say something? You know, when somebody comes in and you know that they are, you know, for lack of a better term, bad news, right? Should you speak up and tell the org, hey, you know, this person's reputation, they were over at this org before, and man, they were hell raising when they were there. You know what I mean? Or do you give everybody like that, you know, okay, we'll give them a shot, you know, let's see what they do, you know, because there are some people who their reputations precede them, you know, to your point.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, I mean, in addition to Montoya also that that a lot of times, I mean, we all are unintentional, uneducated psychologists and psychiatrists. We all come into the game. We had this conversation. When we all come to the game, guys, everybody's looking for some bit of comfort. Yeah. Right. And you start playing with people and you start understanding people, and then you start developing a sense of a family, of an electronic family, honestly. Yeah. You know, in some cases you don't see these people, but you hear their voices. And so everybody plays a little bit to a psychology to help out people and things like that. But there comes a moment in time where even org leaders have to realize, hey, I've given this person a chance. And we got a couple of people that in test where they've allowed once, twice, 3 times to be nice. Yeah. You know, and I'm gonna go to the situation that I have with Mortal Online. You know, I'm with Artisans and things like that. And Artisans is fantastic, by the way. If you jump on Online too, Artisans is the way to go. It's a good group RP, not even PvP, you know, and things like that. But they had a particular issue, Griff, where they brought in somebody, and then they were told by other orgs that this person was toxic and did so many things to where it made it look like that this person that was coming into Artisans was coming in to try to have a safety group. Because they committed so much mess in the game. All of a sudden now they're joining one of the largest orgs in the game. And now they got a safety net because this person was on almost everybody's kill site. So Artisans immediately, based off of that, removed him from the guild. Wow. So yes, I do agree that orgs do need to talk with each other. If there's somebody that's really toxic, they're not going to sit there. They're not going to sit there and not share information or just fumble around with you and say, hey, everybody's toxic. Right. Right. That org really must feel that this person is so much of a detriment to the game that they have to communicate with another organization. Okay. Good point. By the way, there was somebody's name that popped up called Darth Genius. I figured you'd smile if you saw that name, but he's a Darth, so he's a genius. Well, look, let's bring Pops in. Let him bring in some conversation with us. By the way, guys, if you guys want to join in on the conversation, you've got something to say, you can put it in chat. We'll try to follow you in chat if you don't feel comfortable coming in. But this show is about voices, so we want you to be able to come in and talk with us directly and share your thoughts about, you know, what we're talking about right now. So we've got Pops in here with us right now. Pops, how are you?
I am fine.
Good. Saturday. Welcome to you are our first guest. I wish I had something to give you. You're our first guest, but I don't have anything to give. I have to dig up something. I should have thought about something. You know what, Pops? I'm going to give you, I actually have one of these. Do you have one of the bars that goes in your hanger?
No.
All right, you got one. You will be able to serve drinks to your friends. All right, I'm good because you are first person that took that bold step. We're gonna give you one of the, I forget what it's called, Dr. So-and-so. It's got liquor and everything in it. You can drink out of it. You'll actually fall out if you drink too much. So we'll give you that as being a gift for being our first guest today. Okay.
I get my drunk on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Or you can get them drunk, whatever way you want to do it. You know. So Pops, you heard what the topic was today. You got any thoughts about it?
Yeah, me and my son, we ran an org in another game. This is a new territory And what I'm saying is that gaming is relatively, you used to sit in the park and play face to face, but now it's an online thing, and we can all sit behind our desk and vent and go in many directions. We've had people come into our org that we used to run, and they were trying to date everybody in the org. A lot of personal issues come in, and it is supposed to be about playing the game, but you get a whole lot of baggage, a whole lot. And it takes personality of the person that's running the org to really know how to handle a lot of these things. And it's a new territory, basically, for all of us.
Yeah,
but,
well, you've heard me say this. people have asked several times before about Soul Citizens. Hey, why don't you guys? And by the way, thank you guys so much. Those of you who have joined up with us. Kelosal, we have over 250 people in our Discord, if you can believe that.
That's amazing.
I thought it was like 100 and something, and I went in last week, and I'm like, oh my God, we have 200 and something people who've joined our thing. And people from time to time will write to me and say, are you guys an org? Are you thinking about becoming an org? And as you can see, I have enough gray hair in my head, and it's enough to be on staff with Test Squadron. In Kelosal shaking his head already because he's been there, done that as well. So, you're right, Pops. It does take a certain, what's the word I'm looking for? Mental place to be in to be able to deal with it, because you are dealing with adults, at least in adult organizations, you are, right? And you do want to give that latitude for people being adult, but there are personality things that can arise that can make things difficult. Some people aren't just there for gaming, right? Temperament. Thank you, Chris. You are the man. Thank you. Temperament. You have to have the right temperament. You have to be willing to be firm when necessary, right? But also those times when maybe you need to be able to spend enough time to work something out between people. You find yourself, like Kelosal said earlier, being sometimes more of a, what do you call it, backseat psychologist, right? Kelosal, pretty much, in a lot of these cases. Kelosal, you got anything about that, what Pops was saying?
No, he's you got to have the temperament, and you also got to have the time. You also got to have the time, and these people dedicate a lot of time. I didn't really realize how much time you needed to have until I created an org in Eve. And I had about I remember when I created, I remember where I was at in the Astro. I just put out a little notice. I said, hey, we created an organization. It's called the ICC, and within 2 days, I had 22 members within 2 days.
Wow.
So I was like, wow, that's great. But then I forgot that I had a former life of being a teacher. And I'm sitting there hardly always there, and then, good God almighty. And then, like I said, it takes a lot of time, especially, and I'll give you one scenario, Griff. Heck, this is Star Wars: The Old Republic. And being the Sith that I am, I ran a whole org for Sith.
Oh, wow.
Called Slith. Okay, and literally, and I was the Sith master, Okay. And of course, Sith do what Sith do best. I had to go in, playing my RP stuff. I had to go out and travel and leave. I was school, and of course, I got overthrown. So it happens. You got to develop the time, along with the temperament, and you have to be a good organizer. Yeah, right. You have to be a good organizer.
Very true. Pops, before we let you go, let me ask you one quick question. How long did you guys run your org when you and your son were doing it?
I think it lasted for, if I remember correctly, I think it was 6 months.
Wow.
It was, 6 months.
And what caused it to wrap? Was it the game was over, or you guys just decided to step away, let somebody else do it, or burnout? What made you end it?
No, the game continued. I think the game is still going. To this day. It just was more than we thought. We put a lot of money into website, building a website. We put hundreds in that, all kind of Adobe. So it is so much more than you think of, especially if you're trying to have something fun and what you would like to say is successful.
Yeah.
And if you're not going into with the right frame of mind, it is it's like a big weight. And when we stopped it, it was like a big weight lifted off.
Yeah.
And
definitely. I understand that. Okay. Well, Pops, thanks for dropping. Thanks for dropping in. I got Fist to Face waiting in the queue next. We're gonna put you up in general, but of course, if there's something else you want to come back to and talk to us, you're more than welcome. Okay.
I sure will drop.
Love you, Pops.
Yeah, Pops. We
love you guys
appreciate
too, and thank you for the show.
Oh no,
it's needed.
No problem. Listen, guys, Pops. Again, I want to mention that Pops and Fist. They are the team of New Soul, and they're the ones that produce the music that we've been using for our shows, and they've done a fabulous job. So I'll tell your son that too when he comes in here. But Pops, thanks a lot. Okay.
Thank you.
Griff, as you're bringing Fist in, I mean, the question I want to ask is how long does a typical or average org stay into its existence?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Test has been around for years.
Yeah.
And, you know, big props to Montoya, Sun, you know, the rest of them, including Sethius and things like that and so forth.
Yep.
So many people that I can't even name on here. That I apologize if I can't get your name on here. Lefty, a whole bunch of group, Black Sonder, all that good stuff. But there are some org scripts that jump in and they are done within, just like Pop said that he had it for 6 months.
Right.
So I guess the question I would ask is, or maybe somebody can find out, what's the average age for a typical org?
Yeah.
Is it like Test? Test been around for years, right?
Yeah.
Or is it like some other AOB organization that comes in? Because then we saw Empire fall apart. Did I believe something like that?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So how long did it stay? 2 months, 3 months, 4 months? I just wanted to ask that question.
Yeah, what the average is? That's a really, really good question. By the way, for those of you who are members of our YouTube channel, some of you are subscribers, some of you are members and supporting us financially. Super chat is in now. So on the left side, if you see under my name, it says thank you for your support. Hopefully, if I program this right, your super chats will come in on that side. I think Big Black Gaming or somebody asked me about it last week. So just want you guys to know that super chat is running as well as our regular chat. And if you guys really like and want to support us, you guys please feel free. Hit the join button. You'll get information. We've got different tiers in there, all that good stuff, blah, 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 blah. And if you want to join the conversation, there's a link right here in our description on this page. Just click on it. It'll bring you into the chat queue and we'll bring you down and you can talk to us about this subject. We just got Fist to Face. He just came into the chat with us, the other half of New Soul. Fist, how are you?
Hey, how are you guys? My good level's good.
Good. Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah,
absolutely.
How are you?
Absolutely. Yeah, you got any thoughts on the topic we've been talking about?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to piggyback off of what my dad was saying. But I kind of want to go in a direction where it kind of makes me think about when you think about, you know, gaming and the psychology of it. You know, it's like I look at it from the point of fact. Okay, when the internet first came out, you had the introduction of chat rooms, right? Chat rooms allowed people to become something that they were not in real life. You know, to take on a persona that they were not. And, you know, you can go into a chat room, you could be this person, whatever, and live your life, you know, through that. And like I said, again, gaming has become an extension of our real lives. And that's you know, we can go into a game and, you know, pretty much be this badass if we want to be, or you know, we can be the good guy, whatever, however you want to do it.
Right.
But to the point about you know, managing a guild, and I look at and I try to correlate that to what I just said, is that, you know, you're dealing with people, you're dealing with people's lives and what they've accumulated from, you know, all the way throughout their lives. And, you know, it's difficult to like, you know, CC Creator said, you know, you have to have that temperament and you have to be able to know when to hit that band hammer, as well as understand, you know, have to be compassionate as well, because it's a person behind there too. You know, and in running an org, like my dad said, it was difficult. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, to run an org, I'm gonna tell y'all, you might as well have a second career, because you basically have become a professional babysitter.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. And Pops, thank you so much for that Soulmates joining as a member. Thank you. We appreciate that.
There you go, Pops.
Yep. You said something, Fitz. You mentioned about people that this is their lives, and one of the things I have found out is that there's these different groups of people who come to gaming. Some people come to gaming where they will say gaming is not my life, right? You know, they look at it as just a departure from, you know, their day to day. They do their thing. They go back to life. Then you do have some people who literally, the impression you get that gaming is their lives. Like, there are some people, and I'm not throwing no shade on nobody, but this always amazes me,
right,
that there are some people you could type something in the forums, right? And less than 10 seconds later, boom, they responded. Now, mind you, there's thousands of threads, but man, there are some people who, you know what I'm saying? They're like, waiting on somebody to post something. And they're ready to respond or say something good or bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But some people, gaming is like, it's all consuming. I mean, they're there. Maybe their chat is running at work. Their chat is running when they're in their car. Their chat is running. You know what I'm saying?
Like, are you working?
So, well, hey, listen, I don't work. I'm retired, okay? But yeah, but you know what I'm saying. So, you know, give me some. Well, let me go to Kelosal based on what you were talking about how this some gaming for some people is their life. Kelosal, you got any thoughts on that?
Okay, so first of all, I'm not one of these type of people that will jump on the Reddit and all that stuff and have that type of conversation, because there is too much toxicity in my life dealing with my job, with my lovely kids in a positive way, and I am not going to deal with all the toxicity in a negative way by sitting there waiting for somebody to throw up a conversation. I mean, that's usually, I mean, I don't know whether to applaud or vomit. These people have a complete passion, for lack of a better word, right?
They're passionate.
They have a complete passion for these types of things. I guess, honestly, if I went to the serious side, I would say it's no different than you watching baseball, basketball, football. It's no different. These people just prefer electronic communications. And gaming is one way of doing that.
That's a good comparison. Yeah. Because some people are sold out on it, right? Just like you said, some folks in sports, that's their thing. And gaming can be just as much for some people. Fitz, let me ask you a question.
And that Karen.
Pops. Oh yeah. By the way, yeah. Thanks. Who did I see come in? Black Sky Legion, our buddy. Thank you, Kaizen, for popping in today and supporting us, man. We love you. We miss you, and always love hearing your voice. Oh, he's in queue, in fact, so we'll be able to bring him in for this.
Awesome.
Yeah. Before I bring him in, though, I wanted to ask Fitz another question. Fitz, Pops mentioned about you all's orgs and some of the waves you guys dealt with. Was there ever any, do you remember having someone who was actually toxic that came in? Like, I mean, their presence or their attitudes actually brought a downer. You know what I mean? Like folks logged out when they showed up. You know what I mean? Did you ever have anything like that? You don't have to give any details. I'm just kind of curious. Did you ever have somebody like that?
Well, I did have, unfortunately, it was a young lady. You know, and the thing about it was that, you know, with her, you know, like my dad kind of touched on it, you know, it was like she was bringing her personal life over into the game.
Okay.
And what I'm talking about, you know, with the dating thing and trying to date other org members and all of this stuff, like was like one she was like really clingy to this one org member, and the next thing you know, she was on this other org member, and it was kind of like, you know, she was cool at first, but then it kind of started to realize, you know, who's the common denominator in this problem, you know? And when I realized, I'm saying like, look, I can't do this. You know what I mean? You know, this is, people are here to have fun and everything like that. I mean, she respectfully, you know, left and everything. But like I said, again, it was something we had to, you know, deal with, and luckily it didn't go bad. I mean, you had your people who came in and, you know, had one person, I don't know, if trolling, whatever it was, you know, spewing off racism. I mean, I quickly hit the band hammer, you know, without, I don't even discuss that. Just hit that and just go and just keep moving on, you know. But when you're dealing with a toxic person, it's just kind of like that cancer to the group. You know, you just and like I said again, you know, we tried to deal with it in the sense like, look, you got to try to, you know, give them a warning. Look, you know, you got to try to, you know, keep your relationship to the game. You know, with that person, that you're making that person feel uncomfortable. They're here to play the game, so you know, you got to respect that. Right. And if they don't, then you got to do what you got to do. Okay, you know.
Yeah. Okay. We appreciate that. Gecko, to answer your question, it's supposed to be. If it's not working, then I got to work through the bugs on it. I'm sorry. I thought I had it running last night, and it's supposed to be over there where it says thank you for your support, but I guess maybe it's not working. So I'll jump on that. I'll try and see if I can do something while we're talking. Fitz, thanks for stopping in, man. We're gonna bring you up to general as well, but if you want to come back on the next question, you're always more than welcome to come back. Okay.
All right.
One word for those people.
What's your one word?
Ban them. Ban them. Just ban them. Make a meme, put it across the screen, ban them.
Ban them. And ban them. Is that it? Ban them.
Just one word.
Yeah, ban them. Okay. Okay, fair enough. All right, we've got a couple more folks in line. We got Kaizen. We're gonna bring him in. And Kai, how are you, buddy?
Hello, brother. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. You're up on a Saturday bright and early, huh?
Yeah. I'm just chilling and saw that you guys were live and thought I would come in here. And I always want to see what the Soul Citizens are up to because it's always valuable conversation.
Well, we appreciate you, man. You're helping us kick off this is our first day of our new show. So we appreciate you stopping by and supporting, man. So I know you heard some of the conversation, this question that was presented in Spectrum from this person who says this guy, the interesting part about this guy's post was he said he's known this guy for 15 years. In real life. And he said he freaked out on me and told me to kill myself. Now, to Fist's point, he was talking about people bringing in real life scenarios into the gaming room. You got any thoughts or even maybe some experiences with that?
Yeah, I mean, running a Discord with a couple thousand people in it, you see interesting, weird interactions where people sometimes just have a little bit of a mental break for a minute, almost as if it's something that we've all been seeing nonstop on TV for the last week. Like there's times where for whatever reasons, whether you're right or whether you're wrong in how you have your feels, you get in those feels and you stop using the common sense part of your brain and things go bad, things go dark. And it's rough, man. It's super, super rough. I think it's really hard when you're dealing with people that have a lot of history like that, where you were talking about like, man, I've been friends with this guy for years and years. That's a rough one. And there is a certain aspect to the actual interaction of like online interactions where for the most part, when we are sort of out there IRL, if you're walking the streets of Philly, to watch your mouth because the rule is talk shit, get hit. So like whatever, but people get online and they start clacking those keys. I think the main thing that I take from all of this is it's sad that we live in the world that we live in today where if you are sort of leaning towards the right on any issue and someone disagrees with you, they call you Hitler. If you're leaning on the left on any issue and someone disagrees with you, they call you Stalin. You're there right away. You're communist. You're a Nazi. You're this, you're that, you're whatever. And it's like, I feel like people used to have a lot more fuse. They used to have a lot more like empathy for each other. And they would be like Republicans and Democrats or like whatever. I don't care what the thing. I'm Republican, you're Democrat. I'm iPhone, you're Android. I'm PlayStation, you're Xbox. Whatever, like people's tribes used to have a lot more empathy for each other. And nowadays everyone's just quick to want to like go nuclear with everything and not have any empathy for each other. So I guess that would be my main thing to put in is whenever you see a situation, whenever you see a Will, Chris, and Jada, or this, that, and the other, look at each person in that formula. Try to put yourself as a grown-ass man into that person's, each of those three people's shoes, and try to have compassion for what each of those three people are feeling before you hop in with your hot take. That's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a good take, Kai, because I was just thinking that, I mean, good perspective, interesting perspective from what you're saying. But then I was going to ask you a question. As an org leader, what tools or suggestions would you give to people that are creating an org or that have an org on how to handle that? Is there a system? Is there a program? Is there a body that you have, like a committee that tends to address that? And one good thing that you did say is people have to listen. People have to listen, because everybody comes with their baggages and things like that, and we can't just sit there and, you know, we don't want to allow toxicity, but at the same time, we want to understand what brings that person to that situation, so maybe we can help that person. Or you start making executive decisions and saying this person is not beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have to tailor it to what the incident is, as far as, you know, if someone is, I mean, to me, like, if someone's starting with the N-word or with the F-word or with some trans, gay, racial, whatever, that is just an automatic, I don't even need to try to figure out your damage. You just can't be here. You're a hand grenade and you got to go outside. But like, if it's not like that, if it's just whatever, me and Fast Cart are boys, we're tight, we're friends, but for whatever reason, I'm just annoying the hell out of him today, and he's like, yo, you're an asshole, or you're like, if it's not like some racial whatever type, whatever, if it's just two people butting heads, then you try to, like, I don't know, you try to like put them in a room and say, look, all right, you two, you guys have been tight, I don't know what's going on today, but like, you guys try and figure it out so that I don't have to. Because if I have to, it's going to be something that's final. And at that point, that's sad for everybody involved.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, I guess you just have to kind of, like I said, if it's something though where someone's threatening violence or getting like you know, racial, or like something that's just like, there's no excuse. I don't care how bad a day you're having. There's no excuse. All right. Well, then you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask one last question, Griff, if you allow me to ask this one last question. Kyle, have you ever brought somebody back that you dismissed and either regretted it or supported that bringing back?
Never from something like that, something that was like a too far, but a couple of times from people who just flew off the handle and they were in their feels and they ran their mouth some. And then afterwards, a couple days later, they come back and whatever. And my thing is, like, if it's at someone else, that's tough. You push it too far. I wish you well. I understand, but you can't be here. If it's at me, if someone comes at me because they're pissed off, like, sometimes I'm just an asshole. I cause it. So like, if someone's coming at me, I'm much more like, yeah, no, it's cool. You chill. All right, it's cool. Let's hug it out. It's all good, and we'll just keep going. Yeah.
And one last question: Would you, if that person I'm looking at the question, Griff?
Yeah, I got you.
About the person being in the port. Would you warn a community or would you warn organizations to put them?
I'm sorry. I didn't understand. You cut out for part of that. What?
Sure, no problem. Would you warn the community about that person if that person was really like this question is asking? Would you warn the community, or would you go and, in the spirit of a blacklist for organizations, would you do that, or would you not take part in that?
100%. Again, tailored to the situation. If it's the hey, you're an asshole situation, I don't need to run my mouth about you. I'll let other people decide based on your experiences. If it's a situation where someone's being homophobic or in some way what I would call hate speech, not an argument, but hate speech, I'm going to put you on blast so that everybody knows. Like, I love the fact people say, like, oh, it should be illegal to have, like, oh, you shouldn't be able to get a swastika on your neck. I think those people with the tattoos with the swastika on their neck, they're doing me a favor. I know to cross the street and stay away from him. If you're a crazy person, you know what I'm saying? If I'm at the park with my kid and my little kid runs up and says, hey, I want to go hang out at Justin's house. Sure, let me meet Justin's dad. Oh, he's that guy over there with the swastika on his neck? How about no, we'll go get some ice cream. You want ice cream? And just get your kid out of there. Like, if you're going to be a hate speech person, you need to be on blast. If it's just some personal bullshit, then like, let it go. Let people decide if they like you or not on their own.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome, man. Thanks a lot, Kai, for dropping in,
Thanks,
brother.
man.
As always, you always share some good words of knowledge to our community. And you guys make sure you all check out Kaizen, the folks with Black Sky Legion. They are a great group of people. He is still in love with New World. Is that right? This man's still playing New World?
New
Get you
World,
off that.
fantastic. But I was also in the verse yesterday having some fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. Well, you guys check them out. They're on Friday evenings on Twitch. They're a great community of people as well. Kai, thanks for stopping in. By the way, Kai, you don't want to miss the second half of this show. That's all I'm going to say now.
I'm going to be watching the whole thing.
Say right now, okay? We're going to bring you up, and if you want to come back later, you're more than welcome to come in, okay?
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Later, brother.
All right, we got the man, CC Creator, who's been waiting in the queue. By the way,
Hey,
anybody
CC.
who wants to join us, you guys can click on the link if you've got some thoughts. In fact, we're going to move on to our next question after CC, so you might want to wait to see what the next question is. So, Creator, how are you, man?
Doing good. How y'all doing today?
Oh, we're here as usual, and you are here as usual. You're another one of our supporters. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to kind of take a different angle. I'm about a year and a half into the verse, and I've always taken the position of shut up and listen and learn as much as you can before you have, pretty big opinions. But I've been kind of searching around for an org or just people to play with, and it's been like the third or fourth time now that I've run into people that are fairly new to the game, and they come in not having been fortunate enough to run into Soul Citizens and get a lot of information, but having really strong opinions and doing things like telling brand new players, oh, never try rock mining because that's not the min-max of the game, or never do this, or, having that kind of toxicity that's not outside stuff, but stuff internal to the game, and really just bringing down the vibe of the whole server. So it's like, how do you, at what point do you deal with those kind of people where it's not outside stuff, it's not like any of the racisms or anything like that, but it's just people may go on a 2-hour rant that just blows up the Discord.
That's a really good point, because I'm familiar with what you're talking about. I think it's one of the difficulties too that is in a way a little more particular to Star Citizen than other games, because there are some people who are very happy with what CIG's development has produced, right? They're enjoying what's out there. Then you've got other folks out there who are discontent, maybe because they've been backing the game for quite amount of time. Let's use bounty hunting, for example, right? We've got things like the Cutlass Blue that's there. It's got the jail cells in it, but guess what? We're supposed to have handcuffs. We're supposed to be able to take people to prison. I'm supposed to be able to make my money. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit of discontent because I've bought this ship that's sitting there collecting dust, right? And so, or you've got the people who think that I'm not interested in like the one I hear all the time is about people who don't like to carry like the boxes, right? The box runs, right? Because they think box runs is a waste of time. You can make way more money loading up your Caterpillar or your C2. Don't waste your time doing box runs. And they can maybe turn off somebody to a different aspect of the game, right? That maybe for that person, it's not about making, 100,000 on the load, but it's about the feeling of accomplishment that I was able to get safely from one location to another. And so when there are things that are missing from the game, particularly missing from people who have, like, they come to Star Citizen because they're looking to do such and such, and they heard about such and such, and when such and such isn't there, there can be some saltiness, lack of a better term, or like you said, or maybe even downplaying what other things are that are working in the game. But that's the thing I've observed. I don't know if that's necessarily along the lines of what you're talking about, but I have heard people say things that have maybe deterred people from doing something just because they didn't like it. Kelosal, you got some thoughts?
I do got a hello. Hey, Gaz, it's good to see you, buddy.
Oh, Gaz is here. Hey, Gaz.
Gaz Coipod. That's a long time seeing our friend across the pond.
Yeah. And Shimpasta's here. Hey, Shimpasta. Awesome.
No, I do not have any thoughts.
You're right. Right. I'm sure you have thoughts.
Okay, well, I mean, it's almost like it is what it is. But at the same time, when we talk about toxic gamers, I have my own view about them. I can go ahead and role play and say, get them the hell out, because they're just, I understand they have some talking points to make, but a lot of the times, and I see this all the time, the way how they present them is just not, I would say it's not a critique when they present their toxicity. And it becomes and we use toxic as the most vulgar language in the profession, right? If you want to go ahead and cut off a conversation, you use the word toxic real quick, and that will change everything. So that's just like the ultimate sin of communication, right? So when you see those types of players and they're labeled as being toxic, then the question is, are you done with giving them opportunities? Because once you label them as toxic, that's a tough word. That's a tough characterization or mischaracterization of somebody.
Yeah.
So that needs to be analyzed and evaluated. And I hope orgs have a process for that.
Be careful with that. Yeah. Alexander mentioned something here, and maybe CC, maybe you might want to respond to what he says. Alexander says, every time I see them giving min-max advice, I call them out and I'll preach, hey, fly what you want to fly what's best, what you enjoy. That's kind of the direction he goes, right? Do you think that's kind of like the best advice to give to people?
Right.
That's the advice that myself and other players in these discords give out, and then unfortunately, it's been turning into hours-long pissing matches, for lack of a better term. So it like last night, for instance, it cleared out a discord of like 20 people within 30 minutes.
Wow. It got that heated. Wow.
That heated.
That's deep. Well, again, and someone said this earlier, for some people, gaming is life, right? And they also use the word passionate. Some people will say passionate, some people say crazy, right? But some people are, to me, it's funny about gaming because a lot of times in gaming, it's the minority voice, pardon the expression, that often is the one that's loudest. You know what I mean? And the people who are usually very discontent often are the people who are not the majority. They're a minority of people, but they also make the biggest noise. And for some people, like Kelosal was saying earlier, for some people who come to gaming from an aspect of, departure from the mania of life, coming to game to enjoy themselves and, have a good time, relax, de-stress. There are other people who come in who literally come in to bring stress, to bring this whatever. And it is one of those things that's an occupational hazard to me as a gamer that you just have to learn how to navigate through. It is sad, though, when people come into a certain space, whether it's a Discord or a chat, and people feel like they literally have to mute, disconnect, or go. You know what I mean? Just because things have become, there's too much tension, which shouldn't happen in gaming. I think we all come to gaming to enjoy something, but it's unfortunate that sometimes it just doesn't happen that way, right? Yeah. All right, CC, thank you, man. We appreciate you dropping by, and stick around. We got another question that we're going to jump to because you're going to be the last one on this question. And hopefully if you want to come back, just jump back in, okay?
Thank you. See y'all later.
All right, bro.
Bye, CT.
Okay. All right. Let's move on here because we've got some more. Boy, that went longer than I expected. Let's go into our next question. Kelosal, I'll read this one and then you can give some feedback to it. This one was called Starting Out, Not Impressed. And I know there's kind of two elements of this that we could approach. So this was in Spectrum as well. This person says, I've only just started out playing this game and I'm only finding issues playing it, but it is a beautiful game. But the bugs are infuriating and detrimental to my enjoyment of the game as a new starter. Delivery quests are bugging out, not being able to complete for various reasons. Packages has no number. Placing packages on a marked delivery spot is not accepted. I got strange deaths. The ships explode without warning. Step off of it at a common station. I fall through fall through the floor. Depths with no corpse marker. Can't retrieve my gear. Unexplainable depths. And now he's got like no money. So the question he asks is, what should a starter player do to make a few credits to rebuy all their lost gear and enhance their ship so they can survive in a beginner ship to do combat? I know there's a lot there, Kelosal, so I know there's a lot there, right? Let me preface this before you start, because you're already shaking your head, okay?
Look at YouTube videos.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it. I've always said, and you've heard me say this before on the show, I've said this before, that one of the things I worry about as Star Citizen gets closer and closer to becoming the game and its realization of the game that it is, that there will be people who are coming in who don't understand that the game is still in development in alpha.
Right, that's what I was about to say.
Okay, is that where you go? All right, so I'll let you go there.
Yeah, because I was about to say that apparently he didn't say So we don't know if he knows that game is not really fully developed yet. It is not done. You know, I mean, he's coming up with a whole bunch of issues that a lot of people in a lot of games come up with. Where's this? Where's that? Where's the beginner's guide? Blah, blah, blah. You know, my advice to you on the real is go to Arena Command, learn how to ship first. And then, you know, once you have that ship, maybe join an org. You know, and have people help you out, or maybe just come on the community and do what people do best, which is jump on the chat channels and say, hey guys, I'm brand new, could anybody show me around? Anybody let me go ahead and jump in the ship and see what's going on and teach me, or things like that.
Let me play devil's advocate though, because this has come up on our other shows before. I think on Soul Talk, someone mentioned one time that sometimes the trailers, even though they're not necessarily marketed to sell the game, when people stumble across a Star Citizen trailer and it says available now, play it now, live now, does that give people that impression that they're coming to a working game? You know, does that make people, you know, with all these new features and they see all this combat and ships flying and zooming, is that kind of maybe giving people the wrong impression too? Because I know we're saying do your homework, because anytime you're doing games, right, they're always, you know, one of the defaults is we go look at somebody's YouTube and see what the game, you know, switch and watch somebody play it. But this person mentions about the beauty of the game. I think a lot of people get sucked in because they see the, you know, the gorgeous game, but don't realize, as you would understand, anybody else, what's broken, right? Is that something that maybe pulls people in that they don't get? That flash?
I mean, I could apply that same thing to a stock market. You know, you're going to go ahead and invest in something you don't know about. I mean, or things like that and so forth. You can go ahead and purchase something. Yeah. Do your homework. Jump to the website. Obviously, you got to jump to the website first to download the browser and all that other stuff, or download the launcher and things like that. But it'll clearly tell you that the website will clearly tell you that this game is in development. Yeah. So, I mean, but I guess to further help this guy out in terms of how you build credit, I mean, do the smaller things. You know, jump on and do some delivery missions. Don't sit there and try to partake in things that you know good and well you haven't had the experience on, or haven't even looked up or researched on. I mean, so it's this person. The only thing that's misleading a little bit is this person didn't let us know is if he or she realized that this game was in alpha.
Yeah. All we know is that they're a starter. They're a new person coming to the game, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Let's bring Pops back. Pops wanted to come down and have some thoughts on it. Pops, you got some thoughts on this one?
Yeah. My experience is I came in the game. I couldn't do anything. I think the spawning spot was PO when you first
back in the day.
Yeah, we came in. I couldn't take off. I couldn't do anything. Man, I dropped this game because I had heard about it, and I was a hater. I was a hater of the game because I heard all the negative stuff, and then I found some information on the game and what they were doing. So we said, you know, let's try to come back in and see, because the tech that they were building was interesting to me. And we met some nice people, and that was the key. We met some good people with good information, and they just don't tell us this is what the game is about. The game is in this state. And like Kelosal and we discussed before, you see these things, and they're not necessarily marketing things, but they're just people creating, and the people having fun in the game. And you see the beautifuless of the game, and you think it's ready to go. And that's where I came in. I didn't know what was going on. And that it's important to get the right information where the state of the game is.
That makes
absolutely.
That's a good point. Matt Style, hey, what's up, Matt Style? Good to see you. Matt Style says there should be a big disclaimer on those videos stating that the game is still heavy in development and in alpha still. I
just want to know how many times they got to do that, because it's a lot of videos.
Well, it is, but I was gonna say. I think if it's GoMob it's you. It's either you or GoMob who always says gamers don't read, right? I mean, that's the other side of the coin, right? That a lot of times people get right. People,
it's the biggest kryptonite in today's generation.
Right. I mean, we, in a way, social media has kind of messed us up because we have gotten more caught up into the visuals and hearing and the sounds, but that disclaimer, I mean, we go through it even when people talk about buying stuff in Star Citizen. You got to hit all these buttons and click on these little things before you do it, and people still act like as if that stuff doesn't exist, right? So
absolutely. I love my kids, by the way, guys. I love my kids.
We know you do.
Fantastic.
We know you do.
I love them.
But yeah, I mean, that is the thing. And Pops, I can, again, you know, now we've had people talk about that frustration, that learning curve frustration. That's a little bit different because people come into the game. There is no great instruction book on how to, you know, start your ship, launch it. And so there is frustration. And it does help when you connect with somebody who, you know, makes it so easy, right? Because all you got to do is hit the R button. Later on, you learn you can hit U and I and O and all that other stuff, right? So the learning curve thing is completely understandable. I think the thing that got me about this was what Kelosal mentioned, and it was about the fact that this person, it is apparent, or it seems to be, this person did not understand that the game was in alpha. The other thing I worry about, Kelosal, is do people even know what alpha is? Yeah, we've got all these terms now: early access, beta, alpha. And alpha you didn't hear too much before back in the day. You used to hear about beta and early access. Well, beta first, then early access, right? But now you've got this alpha thing. Do you think everybody knows what alpha is, Kelosal? I mean, in the sense of the fullness of what alpha is, that you're coming into something that's just, there's no game mechanics. It's not there yet.
That's a very good point. And probably now, unlike it was in the past, no. Because there are a lot of games out there now that you can play for free, like PES, they changed, it used to be Pro Evo, and then they changed the name now to eFootball. And eFootball is still in alpha stages, but yet you can play it on Steam. There are games out there that are still in development that you still can play on Steam, even in pre-alpha and stuff like that. But people are playing, as long as, I think people now have a different perception of what alpha is. So the gaming development might want to go ahead and change its terminology, because at one point if it was in alpha, it was unplayable being under development.
Right.
Now, even when it's alpha, people are playing the game.
Yeah, because technically, hey, Pops, I don't know if you knew this. Yeah. There was a period where we used to call the game pre-alpha.
Right.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah. I mean, there was a good period of time. It was called pre-alpha, not alpha. You know, I don't even know when we transitioned from one, or even if we have technically changed over to it. Pops, let me ask you one last question, and we're gonna rotate you out here. You said that one of the things that was beneficial was once you connected with people. Is that right?
Absolutely.
That made a big difference for it.
It made all the difference in the world.
Okay.
It made, or in the verse. Let me say that.
Okay. In the verse. Okay. Good point. Did you do some homework with YouTube as well, or did that come later, or was it the people first, then YouTube, or was it YouTube then the people?
This was the order. The negative about the cost of the ships was on the videos.
Okay.
All of those people, that's where I heard it, because I heard it from another game, Ashes of Creation.
Okay.
Because they spoke about it, and being that it raised, Ashes of Creation was #2, Star Citizen was #1. So that's my first introduction to Star Citizen.
Okay.
Then I came in on a free fly. Like I said, we found out couldn't do anything. Then it was the people, absolutely the people that directed us, told us to watch this, see that, and get that. Gotcha. But the other thing I wanted to mention about gaming is making a turn right now. It was the big companies, and now it's going to independent companies. So the definition, like Kelosal said, alpha is gaining it's becoming I will say not new, but the more correct way of using it now, especially with Star Citizen, and especially with games like Ashes of Creation. They are actually putting it out there as alphas and the way that it should be. The gaming industry used it before in a manner that it really wasn't correct. They gave people, we talked about early access and that, but it's a corner that's being turned. And Star Citizen and Ashes of Creation, to me, in my opinion, are moving it in the right direction from the independent studios.
Okay. Awesome. All right, Pops. Thanks again for stopping by. Appreciate sharing what your thoughts were. Okay.
Hey, Griff, can I say one thing?
Sure.
And this is how long we've been following Star Citizen. At one point, they did have a tutorial.
Yes. At one point. At one point, which was a rough tutorial. I remember doing it several times. It was a rough tutorial, but it was a tutorial. It was
gorgeous. It was nice. It really was.
It was. Yeah, for those of you who missed out on it, we showed it on one of our shows a little while ago with the captain or major or whatever he was. I forget his name now, but yeah, that was a rough one. All right, we got Kaizen dropping back in with us. Kai, any thoughts about this starter player, what they could do?
Oh yeah. So first off, I gotta just say, this is why your parents taught you listen to your elders, because +1 to every last word of what Pops just said, 100%. For games that are released, you know, you could go the route of like, oh, I'm just go on YouTube and Google how to blah, you know, how to make it in this, how to have the best start in No Man's Sky, how to have the best whatever in, you know, the unbeatable combinations in Street Fighter, whatever. For games that are in alpha, it's literally, it's always, or beta, games that aren't released yet, it's always a matter of like, everything's shifting, everything changes. There's stuff that should theoretically work, but it's buggy. There's other things that work smooth this patch and not smooth next patch. So the quick answer in what you do to get ahead in Star Citizen, if you're watching this video and hearing my voice right now, look down underneath this screen and where it says join the Soul Citizens Discord, click on that link and talk to real people who are more than happy to help you. If you click on that link and join the Soul Citizens community, you're going to have people who will say like, you'd be like, yo, I got this box mission, but this thing don't. Oh, yeah, no, we know that. You got to do this. Or, hey, here, hop on my ship. Let's go. We'll work out together. We're going to go do some mining. I'm going to show you some tricks, whatever. There is no substitute for a good community that will bring you on and help you find your way around all of the little eccentricities of it. So that's it. Fast Card just threw the Discord link in the chat. That's all you need, and I'm out.
Oh, thank you, man. We appreciate that. Boy, we got to send that brother some cheesecake for plugging us. I don't know. We have to figure out something. I know, right?
Good Lord. I mean, look here. Just wait until Blight Sky jump right on and do the same thing. Yeah, like, listen, folks.
Absolutely.
You need to watch Blight Sky Legion. It's phenomenal. And it is. It is fantastic. I love the quality programming that Kai puts on with his group. Fantastic job. Thanks for the props.
Yeah, they have a great roundtable of people that are very thoughtful in talking about not just Star Citizen, but they cover No Man's Sky. They cover New World. And they're just really cool people. We've had them on our show as well. So again, Kai is just a great supporter of us. Okay, listen, we're going to jump off this question because there is something that I wanted to show you, Kelosal. I know you haven't you didn't watch it, right? You haven't seen it, right?
No, you told me not to do it, not to look at it. Okay. I have not looked at it.
All right. So some of you all know about GDC, right? The Gamers Development Convention that they have, you know, blah, blah, blah. And at GDC this year, a game that we've talked about in the past, Star Atlas, made a video presentation. And so Klaus and I have talked about Star Atlas before. We've talked about it with you guys on our show. But I want you to hear this. It's about 10 minutes long. It's a presentation that was done at GDC of the guy who runs Star Atlas. And he talked about some things that we never heard before. And I want to talk about the reality of what's happening on with gaming. Is gaming, there's a lot of stuff out here that people are saying that they want to be able to do with games. And the question is, can they deliver? And this same question came up with Star Citizen. Can Star Citizen deliver, right? And so I want you all to hear this. We're going to talk about it, get your feedback. And again, if you guys want to come in and talk with us, we're reading the chat as well. But if you want to come in, this show is about hearing your voice. So if you want to come in, all you got to do is click on the link that's on the page here. It'll bring you into our queue, and then you'll be able to talk with me and Kelosal about this subject. So let's play this video for you guys, and then we'll come talk about it, okay?
Hi everyone, and thanks so much for joining us at GDC 2022. I'm excited to present what we believe to be the next generation of gaming, built on Web3, open economies, interoperability, and the metaverse. At Star Atlas, we're working to build a virtual universe lying at the intersection of the Solana blockchain and state-of-the-art graphics using Unreal Engine 5. Today, we're going to shed some starlight on how we see virtual worlds like ours impacting the future of labor. And we don't just mean publishing. At its core today, Star Atlas is a grand strategy space exploration MMO. Players will participate in space exploration, territorial conquest, and political strategy within a virtually limitless universe. Gamers will see their avatars progress through traditional skill tree mechanics, improve land and ship assets, and participate in immersive content created by the studio building the current foundation for the Star Atlas metaverse. However, we see enormous potential in an open framework for development in the future, providing the infrastructure required to empower a global, borderless workforce of creators and innovators. In the following comments, I'll touch on the history of work, the place gaming and blockchain has to play in it, and how the Star Atlas team is working to become one of the preeminent sources of next-generation game design standards globally. With that, I'll provide some background on the evolution of industry. In the 18th century, the world was transformed. What was once made by hand started to be made by machine. Crafts became professions, and the Industrial Revolution took hold. Advances in communication, transportation, mechanization sparked production that was en masse and global. A population newly empowered by tools to create and access to new markets to create for produced output falling into three categories: resource extraction, transformation of these resources into products, and finally, a service industry around the products. Fast forward 3 centuries, and the marriage of the internet and personal computers has spawned a whole new race of digital natives, many watching this right now. Driven by a global revolution in connectivity, anchoring 4.6 billion humans with access to a browser to a permanent shared context, the service economy has become king, overtaking industries reliant on physical resources to make up 65% of global GDP. Today's service economy is predominantly powered by what we term Web 2.0 companies, known as the social web. Web 2 companies emphasize user-generated content, ease of use, participatory culture, and interoperability for end users. While the creator economy totals $104.2 billion globally, the individuals who benefit from Web 2 platforms receive their checks through a centralized intermediary. That intermediary uses your eyeballs and sales of goods through its platforms to make billions from those drawn by user-generated content. And while your attention is captured, so too is your data. Alec Ross, author of The Industries of the Future, made the statement that private companies now collect and sell 75,000 individual data points about the average participating American. Take that in for a second. It doesn't make you feel great. Fortunately, on the night of Halloween 2009, a solution began to sprout its wings. A treat for the global community of creators and users, and a trick for those who relied exclusively on closed, centralized systems to maintain their grip on power. That solution was blockchain, evolving into what is today known as Web 3. The blockchain-based, decentralized web disrupts the invasive structure in its entirety, allowing systems to be trustless and permissionless, transactions to be immutable, and data to be owned by the individual. Where Web 2 made the service economy flourish, in a Web 3 world, each bucket of industry can be filled to the brim from the comfort of one's own home. You want to extract resources? Mine Bitcoin or mine within Star Atlas. You want to create products? Try modding. Or better yet, become one of the 9.5 million developers making user-generated content and games or building culture in our metaverse. And of course, if you're interested in service, why not become a guild leader in Axie Infinity, a casino clerk in Decentraland, or a scientist in Star Atlas? Further, launch your own business within the metaverse, sell digital goods or experiences, and identify a new pathway to personal freedom. And while you can work from anywhere in Web3, providing you possess an internet connection, be that a remote farm in Greenland or a ranch in Omaha, the place you really want to be is one of the sprawling virtual realms contained within the metaverse, building its future at the fusion between immersion and utility only Web3 can provide. A smart man made the argument that the next big thing will start out looking like a toy. There are a couple reasons for this. New technologies begin by undershooting human needs, leading those who experiment with them to be considered nerds and the tech itself to be grossly underestimated. Toys are fun, and fun is desirable. Games release dopamine when challenges are completed, providing a trigger response which makes a user continue to play and develop tenacity. Gamification saturates almost every element of your on-screen life, even if you aren't immersed in Battle Royale. Let me give you some examples you may be familiar with. The buzz you get when your screen flashes with a match on Tinder. That's not love, that's gamification. Your Uber rating and how it enables you to access better drivers and faster service, well, that's gamified as well. The makers of Web 2 applications, vying for your service and your data, realized that gamification motivated consistent participation and long-term engagement in their users, and so embedded game elements into each and every point of industry. The makers of Web3 are doing quite the opposite. Rather than embedding games into each and every point of industry, we're embedding each and every point of industry into our games, building new bottom-up businesses, prioritizing restlessness and equity from what results. Why now? Well, the transformation of games from toys to sources of income has been facilitated by a combination of technological and sociological shifts, which are still in motion. In order to make an economy work, you need three things: demand, supply, and payments. Within the Web2 ecosystem, these existed with demand coming from billions of internet users met by supply from mega corporations who pulled on user-generated content and user data for profit. In the world of Web3, you don't have to be employed by traditional players to make your living, nor do you need to live in a major financial capital or have a Harvard degree to thrive to participate in the economy of the future. All you need is your computer, your console, and your curiosity. And smart money is taking note. Technologies which facilitate distributed routes to working payments and ownership received $4.5 billion in funding last quarter. Similarly, immersive worlds accelerated by adoption of AR, XR, VR, and more powerful GPUs and lower latency technologies are estimated at 160 billion. These culminated in more ways for people to participate in the virtual economy and better experiences while doing so. The routes to the new economic worlds we are so intent on building. For a world emerging from COVID confinement, where the time spent gaming increased by 39% globally, and remote work and all its forms became the norm for millions, to return to the office was no longer desirable. So why not move to the metaverse? While different modes of production exist in games, they will come to fruition in what's known as the metaverse, defined by investor Matthew Ball as an expansive network of persistent, real-time rendered 3D worlds and simulations that support continuity of identity, objects, history, payments and entitlements, and can be experienced synchronously by an effectively unlimited number of users, each with an individual sense of presence. Now, if you combine the technological acceleration we're experiencing with the sociological needs of a digitally native population, you get the blossoming meta-native industrialization that we at Star Atlas are working to build. A proliferation of in-game assets to own, rent, and buy, combined with means of participation, socialization, and self-expression, all manifesting in the digital realm, has led to entirely new economic models. And we characterize these into three distinct buckets: identity, participation, and ownership. The identity economy refers to how we present ourselves in virtual worlds, the tools and tendencies attached to our digital existences, spanning everything from avatar creation mechanisms to virtual fashion and the roles we will play in the digital realm. The participation economy is the pinnacle of workforce democratization that began with web, to where the metaverse informs how people conduct their jobs in physical, hybrid, and fully digital modes, all through decentralized means. Finally, the in-game asset economy relates back to assets we own in the virtual space. Everything from digital land and virtual currencies to NFT-based assets involved in gameplay and markets. In our case, colossal spaceships, plots of land on space stations, and countless additional digital asset classes. When it comes to Star Atlas, all three of these intersect to create a fertile metaverse native economic system. Within Star Atlas, each one of the meta-native expression mechanisms merge together to create our wider offering. Openness. Our Web3 native dev kit powers our open permissionless marketplace and aligns the incentives of helping the players and the publishers. Through blockchain technology, decentralized marketplaces rise up that can facilitate exchanges for virtual assets. These markets are not owned by any single entity, and their growth potential is boundless. Technology. This model allows for fully programmable, non-fungible tokens that can be used to represent a digital good or service. These non-fungible tokens play a large role in blockchain gaming in the form of characters, weapons, or skins. Their counterpart, fungible tokens, serve as currency and provide a medium of exchange in-game. NFT ownership is traceable and tradable, and NFTs are easily exchanged on open markets. And while a game publisher can set a virtual economy in motion, only players, through their ownership of NFTs and other tokens, will determine the direction in which it grows. Identity. Within the Star Atlas metaverse, players elect their roles within economic microsystems, interacting with our intergalactic race, each with their own unique history and cultural backstory. This will be integral in forming connections between senses of self and a variety of lived meta-native environments. Participation. Our vision outlines over 20 professional roles, ranging from bounty hunters to CEOs, from scientists to generals with their own workforce operating within specific ships. In time, we see our world powering new economic models which span the world outside Star Atlas. Here we envision players, or decentralized autonomous guilds, being supplemented by traditional capital providers to help shape their gameplay assets. The base of the Star Atlas economy is mining, but we are already seeing a future emerge where our in-game mining assets, such as ships, are in themselves becoming a self-sufficient in-game digital asset class. What's more, in meta-native domination, we have planned for land construction, entire space cities, and microeconomies springing up, with possibilities limited only by your own imagination. As the metaverse evolves, the technologies at our disposal will be integral to the direction it develops and platforms on which it can be experienced. Specific technologies stand out from the crowd and serve as building blocks for the metaverse, and Star Atlas is a key component of this future. Specifically, VR and AR, 3D scanning, in-game NPCs that use artificial intelligence, and the Unreal Engine. Such technologies enhance metaverse experiences and interactions between digital and physical, guiding the direction and acceleration of the virtual economy. This is the time and place where the lines of different ways of experiencing reality begin to blur, one in which Star Atlas has proven itself and will continue to prove itself as a frontrunner. In closing, at Star Atlas, we are looking to bring entrepreneurs, executives, cryptocurrency enthusiasts, video gamers, and economists into our midst, and we recognize that this is a shift that will happen over generations. Star Atlas is the evolution of blockchain games, and it's also the evolution of games and blockchain. It carries the spirit of garages that game development came from, and the soul of the community that turned blockchain from an idea into reality. Built on the Solana blockchain, using Unreal Engine 5, and because of its Web3 interactivity and use of new technologies, Star Atlas flies ahead of competitors and promises to introduce the world to an evolved gaming industry. Not only are we working to provide the space for the economies of the future to blossom, but we will work to support those within it. Our wish is to enable boundless routes for prosperity, creative expression, and consistent learning within our metaverse and beyond. Thank you all, and we look forward to seeing you in the verse.
Okay, we'll have to see how many of you all stayed awake for that. Kelosal, I know you. I saw you were making notes. I already saw that you were taking notes on much of what was being said there. So, and a lot of folks had a lot of stuff in chat. By the way, if you guys want to be able to comment on this, you can click on the link that you see on the page there. It'll bring you to our queue, and we'd love to hear what your thoughts are. But I'm going to go to Kelosal first, because this is the first time he's seen this. And and let me preface this, when we've talked about Star Atlas before, we kind of saw it as like the comparison game to Star Citizen, a lot of similarities. Only thing that they were doing was they were adding in this whole thing with NFTs and the blockchain. But Kelosal, he used some terms. He talked about global, them being global, that people can have their businesses globally and all this other stuff in the game, which kind of like, I'm like, oh, really? Okay, so I'm going to stop there before I start going down my road. And let's hear what you got to say. And by the way, again, if you guys want to come in and join us on this one, have a comment, feel free. All right, go ahead, Kelosal. Your face is telling the story, so go ahead.
No, I was saying, you heard all that? Because all I heard was Charlie Brown teaches that. Look, I am a kinesthetic learner. You have to sit me down and literally, go hand in hand and stuff like that. I get what you're saying, but just like I said, I think I commented about this a while ago. We talked about it in Soul Citizen, things like that. I mean, it's just cryptocurrency, and if I know Jade says no, and Jade would be the perfect teacher to come on here and really break it down to me. I'm gonna need you to sit down with me and literally teach me all this stuff, because I don't even know what the HE double hockey sticks this dude was talking about, other than the fact that everybody's going to see each other in a virtual universe. I do have a VR headset, so I'm definitely waiting to probably look at that. But Griff, I'm not going to buy shit. I'm interested, but not interested. it's just another electronic currency grabber. That's all I see with this game.
Okay. Here's my spiel, right? My spiel is we keep hearing people use this metaverse term, right? Metaverse. I just recently started watching Ready Player One. And it brought back this whole thing again about people making comparisons to that. There have even been some games that have been launched recently that said, we are going to be the Ready Player One. And I mean, are people deceiving themselves? Because you and I both, you have VR, I have VR. VR is nowhere near what we see in stuff like Ready Player One, right? I mean, it's nowhere near that. There's some cool stuff in there, but not this virtual world that just has all this amazing stuff in it. So, I mean, is this term being thrown around, especially after the presentation that Zuckerberg did with Facebook and everything? I mean, is this kind of, you know, you almost don't want to be like the hater, pardon the expression, considering how folks were with Star Citizen, right? Star Citizen, people thought it was too ambitious. There's no way it's going to happen, right? But was this guy just giving us a lot of, like, somebody made a joke in here. I think it was Kaizen. Kai, what was the stupid remark you said? I had me cracking up laughing. He said, and in conclusion, this is why you should vote this dude as the class president. He promises no math class and double study hall, right? I mean, that was his response to it. This guy gave us a lot of information. And by the way, is that Phil Zors? I see you up in general, Phil. If you want to come into the chat, I don't know if you're just hanging out in general. If you are, you're more than welcome to hang out there. But if you do want to come and talk to the show, make sure you come to the chat queue or DM me and I'll know, and we'll get you in here. But so you want me to bring Pops in, or you want to say something, Kelosal? Because Pops is waiting to come in.
I mean, just bring Pops in.
Bring Pops in. Okay, I'll bring Pops in. All right, Pops.
I mean, good Lord, that was a lot with that particular. Go ahead. Hey, Pops, how you doing?
Hey.
Take it away, sir, because good Lord.
Yeah. Okay. Gaming versus an investment. Which, I mean, I don't know. I prefer to keep them separate.
Okay.
You know, I mean, in Star Citizen, you can buy a ship, wait for the price to go up, and sell it on the gray market. Okay, that makes sense to me. It's just like this, you know. This sounds like it's for the Bitcoin people. Everybody that's in the Bitcoin is going to jump on this, and but to me, it sounds like a pyramid scheme. I'm going to be truthful. If you get in on the ground, you'll probably make something of it, but it's going to come to a point to where it's just not going to. And this is my opinion. It's just not going to go any further. It's going to be a hurt feeling. It was a whole lot of, like CC created, a whole lot of buzzwords being thrown around, a big sales show, and yeah, there we go.
And then they're using the genre of a video game to advertise block currency or whatever they want to call this thing. I mean, I see it as a unique opportunity for them. I see it as a you know, almost like if you want a bird to fly when it's a young bird, you throw it out of the nest and pray they can flap its wings really quickly. You know, and things like that. This is one of those ones to where if you want to take a chance, just jump out the window or run out the door. But I think they're saying that the world is ready for this. I don't know if the world is ready yet. I think they are. This is ambitious, to use the lack of a better word. But it could be. I mean, who am I to say that it's too soon? But I am saying it could be too soon. I don't know if the world is ready for this. I don't know if the world is ready for metaverse yet. Heck, VR systems are not even as far as resolution, not even up to par yet. You know, so with that being the case, it's going to be interesting to see this, but this is another blockchain / cryptocurrency / let's go ahead and implement this type of financial system with a video game genre. It's the first of its kind, or maybe it just basically taking whatever's already out there and don't know.
Okay,
interesting.
Let me give you some background on this. You know, they've talked about the fact that, well, somebody said it in chat. It's like, where's the game? I think it was Dark Knight. It's like, where's the game? Right? It opened up with a few clips from the trailer, but as far as, and I think one of the things people say is Pop said that he feels like this is more from an investor standpoint, and it seems like they want to try to marriage gaming into it. But gamers are looking for the evidence of the game. But then there are people who are into the investment. I can tell you, I'm one of the people who bought a ship in Star Atlas. I didn't buy one of the expensive ones. It was very nominal, but I bought it more from the experiment of seeing how it works, so I could talk about it from somebody who's in it. Because a lot of times, when people criticize Star Citizen, they've never played it. And so I wanted to be able to say, if I'm going to speak about it, at least I can say I've tried to see how it works. And it's kind of funny because when Star Citizen came out and people talked about how much ships were, people went completely crazy. Star Atlas has a couple ships that you can come in at like a $20 price point, which is what I bought. I bought a bike that's $20, but it quickly accelerates after that from like $20 to $300, then it jumps to $900, then it jumps into the thousands. I think the one show they show in here, the big green one that they show, is that ship runs the price for that in US dollars is $99,000. That's how much it is. Now, interestingly enough, the market has shifted because it is impacted by Bitcoin. And there have been some people who've been feeling like, hey, we're not seeing enough evidence of the production of this, where we're going. And so some of those people who paid maybe $3,000 for a ship have been selling their ships at 50% price, even as much as 60% less. They're taking a loss on those ships. And part of the problem is going to be, I think, in my opinion, delivery. Because this guy's saying you're going to start seeing alpha maybe in 2025. And they're talking about something that, just like Star Citizen, 10 years from now, 12 years from now, he's talking long term. Will people be willing to put their money in investment money that loses value over a long period of time? At least in Star Citizen, if your ship is $100, it's $100. That's how much it costs, right? And that's what it costs. In this game, you could pay $1,000 for a ship. 3 months from now, the price for that ship may drop down to $600, $400. So my issue is for longevity, whether or not what they're trying to achieve can be financially supported, because as you guys know, with development, you have to continually bring in money. Pops, I'm going to move you out. We're going to bring CC Creator, and thanks for dropping in and giving us your thoughts on that. Okay, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
All righty, let's bring
Griff.
CC.
While you're doing that,
yeah,
while you're doing that, Griff. I mean, Gecko said it to me best. He said it looks like a. I mean, and not only that, just that. I mean, to me, the game has a feel of Football Manager. If you play with Football Manager type games, Football Manager, Baseball Manager, whatever manager, it just feels like that type of game. Yes, they may give you some cutscenes.
Well,
right?
Well, let me tell you something. Montoya said the same thing. He thought it was going to be kind of like that, like you said, like a management kind of thing. But they are saying that they are going to deliver ships that you can walk around in. I was like, and I kind of thought the same thing. I said, if they just do the management side of it, they could maybe pull this off. But dude, they're talking about doing the full 9 yards.
Well, I get that, and I'm going to be interested in seeing that, because that's when I said it's going to be the next step of their type of gameplay. They're going to take that gaming and stuff like that, but I still think it's going to be more towards spreadsheets and things like that. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it works. But good God Almighty!
Okay, Creator's back. Creator, welcome back.
Hey, so I got voted down to come and talk about this because I work in the I work in the metaverse space. So a lot of the terms that he was throwing around, I know exactly what he's talking about. I think one of the fundamental flaws in this is that, as someone else mentioned, this is basically the whole Bitcoin blockchain thing that's shoehorned into the wrappings of the space game. And the flaw is that in order to scale that, not everyone is interested in playing a space game. When it comes to metaverse and creating in that space, one of the big things is that you have to give people the ability to create worlds and to create assets and stuff. We see how much work it takes for Star Citizen to create that. I think the closest thing that has an inside track to merging a gameplay with the metaverse and VR and all that is something like a VR chat, and they're already exploring with Bitcoin and NFTs and all that inside of that, and they're building it so that people can create those assets and create those worlds. I don't see how you shoehorn that into a space game with any kind of sophistication, because it would be like, it would be the same as CIG saying, you know what, now you can create your own galaxy, or you can create your own planet and put your own houses on it to fit your brand and all that kind of stuff. That's just really, really far out.
And make real money doing it.
Yeah.
And make real money.
Yeah. You know, a lot of times when people talk about this metaverse thing, you know, a lot of gamers who've been around for a long time said, hey, that living in the world thing has been around for a long time. Second Life is one of the biggest aspects of people, you know, being able to do commerce, you know, make products, put them in the game. So it's not new. It may be new for some folks, but it's not new. My thing with this is it's a concern. It's the fact that we see the struggle that CIG is doing just to produce the game that they're doing, right? A very ambitious project, trying to tread into some areas that have never done before in gaming, and hoping that when they get to the end of that road, that they're able to deliver something that not only comes out and say, yeah, we finished it, but something that people will continue to play for years to come. And Star Atlas is saying basically the same thing, that they want to create a world and a universe, but also that brings in this financial dynamic that will allow people. I'm just concerned about sustainability, because we look at how much money it has taken for Star Citizen, even though they're doing 2 games, but even so, there's a lot there, whether or not the sustainability can take place for Star Atlas, especially with the fluctuation of the monetary fluctuation of Bitcoin, because even though they use Solana, it's still impacted by mainly whatever Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin dives, Solana dives, you know, in general. And they have their own currency, and they're called Atlas and Polis. It's a whole nother thing. It gets really intricate with how the way their thing is structured. I do watch some of the people who follow Star Atlas and kind of hear what they have to say. They're trying to remain hopeful, and I think Montoya put out a great video about the issue with NFTs, and this is what he said. I'll kind of paraphrase him. He said, when people buy NFTs, when they get into NFTs, they're always going to hype them up and speak them up, because if you start talking negative, you start worrying about the investment aspect of it losing money. So even when something isn't doing well, they really won't want to say, hey, things aren't going so great. You know what I mean? Because that sends reverberations throughout the community of, well, maybe I won't buy, or maybe I'll sell. And so people will always speak very highly of it because of their invested monies that are into it. So anyway, that's my spiel on that.
Just imagine, we worry about in Star Citizen, where if we have a 30K losing some UEC, imagine having a crash in this and you lose your whole financial portfolio.
It'll make me sick. Even about being toxic.
Yeah. Well, you know, someone in chat said that this sounds like something for rich folks. In other words, people who have liquid money who can put it into here and, like you said, not lose their life investment, but can lose some money, right? And it doesn't hurt them. That obviously, we know with all gaming, that isn't always the case. There will be people in here who will come to a game hoping to make their living, right? And invest, and especially if it goes well in the beginning. Pops mentioned this earlier. Maybe people in the beginning do well, but those people who come in on the tail end may not do as well, because maybe they heard these great stories of people who made all this money selling their NFTs. And Montoya mentions, I hate to keep quoting Montoya, but he also talked about the fact that the volatility aspect of an NFT, that, you know, with Star Citizen, if you buy a ship, if you want to upgrade, all you have to do is, you know, put a few more extra bucks and get the next big ship. With this game, you can't do that. If you buy the $1,000 ship and you want another ship, you can't upgrade. You have to sell the one you have or put fresh money in to get the next one, which is a whole different dynamic, you know.
See, just like I said earlier, I mean, it could be another genre, gaming for rich folks, or I'm going to be interested. This is where I'm putting my little political hat in. I'm going to be interested to see what governments say about this type of gaming. Okay, I'm definitely going to be interested in that, because we've already seen certain countries and nationalities come in and put rules against people, you know, games that are trying to exploit people or what have you. So I'm going to be interested to see what other countries or governments say about this type. Will it be allowed? Will it not? Will it be banned? Will it be cut on?
That's a good point. I was just telling you the other day, there were 2 young 20-year-old men who just got caught on wire fraud through NFTs. I won't go into the deep story of it, but the government is monitoring that. There's somebody in chat I want to give a shout out to right now, and that's the Poets. The Poets, I see you out there. You're sharing some good stuff. The Poets, I'm going to ask if you've got the time to click on the link and come into Discord, because he has a financial background and he may be able to shed some light in this before we move on to our next segment of the show. Creator, thanks again, man. We appreciate you sharing your knowledge also in your background and helping us kind of understand this a little bit better too, okay?
No, always Creator.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, man.
All right.
I don't know if the Poets is going to be able to click in or not, but hopefully he can. But anyway, we're going to see if he can jump in. Kelosal, are we being hypocritical? I mean, us Star Citizen people who had all this faith and, vision of Star Citizen, and y'all don't know what y'all talking about. This is Chris Roberts. He's gonna make this game. Are we being hypocritical when we give the side eye to Star Atlas?
No, I would say that we're being. I would caution about hypocritical, maybe bias.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say hypocritical on that one. Like I said, I wish every gaming company good luck. I just think for me, it's for some reason, I'm trying to use my words wisely here. It's almost like it's an invasion on an industry from the financial institutes.
Okay, and you're worried about that, right?
Like.
Yeah. Okay. And we've talked about that, right? What's going to be the compromise, right? Because even if you produce all this great investment side, can you also produce a good game? Right. I almost think that if you create a good game, but the investment side ain't all that great, people will just play the game and they just won't put the money into the investment. But I don't know, maybe they do have to go hand in hand. And I think that's going to be a tough thing. I mean, to create a good game is tough enough. To try to create a financial model that runs well and does well with volatility, and at the same time produce a good game, man, no small task.
Right. I've said it several times. Gameplay is it. Gameplay can make a pixel game like Minecraft look fantastic. Right. And so now all of a sudden, here you coming in and you throwing.
Whoa, you cut out for a second.
I'm sorry.
You said now you come in and what?
Now you come in and you throw in money this and meta that, and money. Oh, and by the way, you're gonna be walking around in a ship. And looking at spreadsheets and making money and giving away money. You gotta be, I mean that is a scary, ambitious proposition. But I just hope that it doesn't damage the industry of gaming. That's what I hope.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot to think about, a lot to consider. I've got my concerns. I don't want to throw any shade because, maybe they are going to take us to that next step, like we're saying, Star Citizen, take us to the next level of gaming. Maybe this is the next level hybrid of gaming and finance that gets us away from like loot boxes, and maybe there is some legitimate way to, I know there are some gamers who kind of have this dream of being able to say, I can stay home and play a game and make money. To me, I worry about that a little bit, but for some people, that is what they're looking for. We'll see what comes out of it.
I love innovation.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, listen, for those of you who want to join, if anybody wants to join in the conversation, we're about to change gears to our guests today as well. We've got some guests that are going to be coming on the show to share some stuff about not these topics, but a couple other questions that'll come up from Reddit in particular. We've got some things that popped up from Reddit, I think, and from Spectrum. So you guys, we definitely want to encourage you to come in there. But I do want to give you a little precursor to that part of the show. The guests that we have coming on are somebody you guys have never seen before. A lot of times when people watch our show, we get a lot of compliments about how well we gel, how well we communicate, how friendly we are, how positive we are toward the Star Citizen development and development of Squadron 42. But we do talk about the fact that we do have this other side of us that we're willing to critique. We're willing to say when CIG maybe isn't hitting the mark, when things aren't, going the way they should be, when there's disappointment, frustration, because we realize that's a part of the gaming community and those who've been supporting the game. So we do want to always make sure that we're being honest about that and not just, the white knights that some people may think that we are. It's just that we just try to keep a positive attitude toward the development because we do, as Kelosal said, we want to see it become something very successful. So we're going to be switching up to our guests. They're going to be on the show for a little bit. We'll be still running the technical side of it, But and then we're going to come back and talk to you guys at the end of the show. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, I think. Let me make sure I got everything, lights right and everything. Okay, yeah. I think they're set to go, and just give us a couple minutes. Watch the commercial. There'll be an opening for the next segment, and then when we come back, we're gonna jump into it. Okay. Thanks again for all of you guys being here for our first show today. Those of you who come in and talk with us, we want to encourage you for the second half too, that you can come in and talk with them. But we do want to tell you, enter at your own risk. That is something that we want to kind of give you guys a heads up on, because it's not Kelosal, it ain't me. You know, we're kind of friendly and everything else. They a little bit, you might have a little bit different shade to them. So we're going to go ahead and switch out, let them come in, and then we'll be right back in just a second. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Thanks.
Stay put.
A distress beacon is triggered, and a quick reactionary force from Elite Expeditionary is mobilized.
Roger, boss. Albatross flight, prepare for drop. 1 minute out.
Loadmaster Goggins, dropping ramp.
Utilizing state-of-the-art technology, highly trained professionals arrive within moments.
Albatross flight, 30 seconds.
Every team, power up.
Rolling on 3.
Prepared to deliver justice in even the most remote reaches of the verse.
Execute, execute, execute.
Every team is rolling. Last man, every team down and safe.
Roger, last man. Albatross breaking off.
Elite Expeditionaries got your back.
Soul Citizens, the network that has brought you compelling programs about citizens, backers, refunders, white knights, pirates, salty space dogs, whales, dolphins, care bears, griefers, and grifters. Now, the Soul Citizens Network gives you another side of the story as we go into the world of the haters. The Soul Citizens present the Playa Haters.
BlackJac. BlackJac. Where's he at? I don't know what this brother's doing. Man, always late as usual. Well, anyway, we're going to welcome y'all to the Playa Haters. For those of you who are out there today, if you want to join in on the conversation, we are here because we are Playa Haters. We hate all players, whether you like Star Citizen, whether you don't like Star Citizen. We are the Playa Haters, and you can come and ask us questions. Right now, I don't know what BlackJac is doing. Where's this brother at? You know.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, now you here. Okay.
I'm here.
You ready? Are you
I'm ready.
All right,
I'm ready.
All right, I want to make sure you're ready now, because here we go. We going for it right here. There we go, right there. Where's BlackJac at?
All right, come on now. Come on.
Oh, there he is.
Come on
What's up,
now.
Man? What's up?
Yeah, hold on, Griff. I got to break a little bit of. Got to get my hair taken out a little bit real quick.
I hate that hair, brother. I'm hating it.
Just go ahead and hate, brother. That's all right. I hate that black pleather hat that you got on.
Brother, you know how much I paid for this? $9, brother. This ain't no
probably 25 cents for the corner store, but that's all right.
Oh, man, ain't this a trip? I can't believe you, man. Listen, wait, you know what? We forgot. It's the first day, right? We got all these folks watching this, so we got to keep it chill. But we want to invite you guys. Listen. Y'all can come in. By the way, y'all see this, right? Y'all see my bling. This is he be hating on this, but this is what's real. Y'all can come in, talk with us today. Y'all see how he looking. So if y'all got to hate on him, feel free to hate on the brother.
Feel free to hate on me, brother. That's all right, because I got not one but two. Come on in the hate. Come on, join the hate. Oh, by the way, Griff.
What's up?
I know
Griff,
some people.
What's Griff? Ain't no Griff here. What Griff?
G-Loc.
Sorry I'm BlackJac. Idris-K done forgot my name. Ain't this a trip? What?
Look at here. Sorry. We got to go back to the community. Y'all know who BlackJac is, folks. Y'all know who BlackJac is.
Yeah.
Hang out over there.
That old messed up organization. Yeah, we know who BlackJac is. Yeah, what about
absolutely.
Him? All right. Well, listen. We want y'all to be able to come and hang out with us and talk with us. So, who's up in here right now? Pops. Pops. Is Pops in here with us?
Pops over there.
Oh, no, he in the
over
queue.
there.
Oh, they all sitting there waiting. Oh, see, now they all want to come up in here. Now, see, they all. I hope they ready for this stuff. All right, listen. Before we let them in here, I know they ain't ready for this. Let's get to our very first. We got a couple issues we got to talk about before we start letting these brothers in here, right? Let me see what I got here. I got that. Let me see here. Okay, so we got to go here. Let's get that there. Let's get rid of the Player Hater logo. All right, let's get rid of that. And then let's go ahead and bring up our very first question. All right, here's the question. You ready, BlackJac?
Let's go. Also known as Idris-K, folks.
Oh, Idris-K. Here we go. All right,
Idris-K.
All right, check it out. This is a question that came from Spectrum. All right, this came from Spectrum. You might think it was on Reddit, but it was on Spectrum. All right, here's the question. If the company fails to deliver the PU and or Squadron 42 and goes bankrupt, I don't want this to happen, but what happens to all that work and that's being done and completed? What's your thoughts on that?
You can call Bethesda. That's what you can go ahead and do. They'll pick up the pieces. They'll pick up the pieces and they'll make it work.
Well, you know what? No, listen. You know what I'm worried about?
That's on the real there.
Listen,
that's on the real. I guarantee.
I ain't worried about the work. I'm worried about my $45 for that Aurora. That's what I'm worried about. All right, they just worried about some work. Give me my $45 back for my package and my Aurora, and then I'll be straight.
You know, how about those people that got the little Gaultier's pack? How about that right there? But they're gonna be some nice hate. Let me. Those people right
wait. You said it. We gotta get a cheer. Hate. Hating. We hating today. We are on the hate. We on the hate. I think we got a couple haters that might be in the room waiting for. I don't know which one of these brothers came in here first, but you know what? I asked for the poets to come in, so let me bring the poets in. You know, now he's a cool brother. He's smooth. He's slick. He ain't a hater, but you got to be real cool with him because he knows about finances, and if anything else, he might look up your taxes and find out something on you, BlackJac. So I want you to keep it straight when we bring this brother in here. All right.
Well, you can go ahead and look up my taxes and find out why I only got $2 on my tax.
Oh, ain't this a trip? Ain't this a trip?
I believe all this money that I'm spending over here that I gotta go ahead and hide the money overseas.
What's up,
got
the
me
poets?
looking like these Russian oligarchs over here.
Hey, man, the poets is here, man. Let the poets talk. And see, look, he said,
everything is electronic, so it doesn't matter where you put it.
What's up, the poets?
How you guys doing?
We're doing
well.
good, man. Hope you enjoy. Are you enjoying the show?
Yeah. I'm glad I had time to log in and see what's going on. And I've never seen this segment before, and I love the name, man. Playa Haters.
Well, listen, man. Listen, Griff and Kelosal, we had to tell them two jokers they need to go somewhere because they taking it too easy on this game. So we hope you got something you want to share about us. Anything you want to share with us today, we'd love to hear from you.
Man, just think of like how this is developed. And like I'm a 70s baby, 1977. And for us coming together to be able to play online like this, and now there's games that like make you actually put money in to buy things in game in order to play it to the next level. You know, like my Javelin. I can't wait till we can all be.
Wait a minute, you got a Javelin?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, see now I gotta hate on you, man, because all I got is an Aurora, man. How you gonna come up in here with a Javelin, man? You ain't supposed to be coming here with no Javelin.
For you to come out with that gas guzzler. What you gonna do? Go up an inch? You're not gonna go anywhere in that shit.
I'm going rock mining with that thing, man.
Oh, you're going rock mining?
Rock mining.
Yeah.
Oh man, little people like me. Can I get a job, man?
That's right.
Can I get a job? I work on that. How much you paying?
Just let me.
No, I'm paying in allowing you to spend time with me. That's
that's the waste of your time right there. Ain't anything worth it on that one. All you're gonna do is touch a button. That's all you're gonna do.
Oh man, he gonna come in here hating on us. Can you believe he hated on us, man? Got a Javelin. Oh man. All right, well that's all right. Well, you know what? I can appreciate that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with having a Javelin. Is that the only ship you got? That's probably the only ship you got, right?
Well, let's see here. I got a list. I started with the Carrack. The Carrack was my first ship.
Man, you know what? See, Griff should have never invited this cat in. You hear this stuff, man? This dude got a Carrack.
You got a carrot?
Yeah.
You got a carrot?
No, a carrot, man, not a carrot. A carrot, man. Get your language together, Jack.
I thought he was. I told him I got a carrot right here. Man. I can go ahead and deal with that.
I got a carrot. Look at this. This is a carrot right here. This is at least
a carrot to get a carrot.
A carrot.
Oh, man, look at this. Hey, this brother hating on us, man. He hating on us. Hey. All right, you know what? We got to give him a glass, though. He hated on us good on that one. Well, no, DePoets, we appreciate that, man. It's always good to have you come by. Listen, this is our first day for this particular show. These, we here we only feature guests. We ain't here every week, but we here this week because we want to help kick off the show. And the fact that you are here, you're on the West Coast, right? Am I remembering correctly?
Oh,
you're on the West Coast?
Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, to hate even further.
Oh, man, can you believe this brother come up in here talking about some LA stuff? He probably in Compton, man. He talking about some Beverly Hills. What are you talking about, man?
He's probably not even on the West Side. He's probably on the East.
Hey, I got receipts. I was with Mike Tyson last night. Check my Twitter.
Good googly moogly. Can you believe
thought he retired.
Nah, he ain't retired, man. Mike's still out there, man, fighting Mike. Matter of fact, Mike was fighting last week, but no, actually he wasn't fighting. He calmed down to fight last week, man. Mike's a changed brother, man.
Yeah, the new fighter is Will Smith.
Yeah,
Will Smith is the new fighter.
I gotta hate on that. Got some hating on that one.
Hate on that one, brother.
Hating on that.
Throwing hands.
Hated the way Chris Rock took that face. That's good, Lord.
DePoets, thank you, man, for stopping in as always, man. We're gonna have you back, man. We gotta get you back when you get some free time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Let's do some scheduled stuff.
And by the way, I saw your thing on your car, man. That was very cool. Well, I didn't see it, but Griff told me about it. I saw about your car thing. That was pretty cool. Yeah, the car you get the work done on. Did you like recently?
Oh yeah. That car. Yeah. Somebody hit the back of my S2000 while I was at a stoplight.
Man, see, you know what? Kelosal, I gotta move this brother out. The poets, you and your cars, your javelin, your Idris. You know what we gotta say to that brother right here? 30K, brother. You getting 30K? All right, man. Time for you to go. 30K. We'll see you later, brother.
Peace out.
30K. You can go ahead and get an Argo to help you carry that car out.
Can you believe that brother come up in here talking about his car and his javelin and his Idris, man?
Get yourself an Argo to help you transport.
But you know what? He a good hater, man. He a good hater. He a good hater. All right, let's see who we got next. Let's bring Kaizen back. He coming back up in here. He was in here with Griffin Kelosal. Let's see what's going on.
Hold on, sir, for a second. You put Kai in the game. I got.
Oh, you got something for Kai? What's up, Kaizen? Where'd he go? Is he here?
Yo.
Welcome, Kai, to the program.
What's up, Kaizen?
Oh, hold up. I don't know who you're talking about. Kaizen.
What's up?
You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I don't know who you're talking about, Kaizen. This is Salty Mac in the house. What's up,
everybody?
Salty Mac.
Salty Mac. He's Salty Mac.
Look at that hat.
Hey.
Look, I got my haterade handy. Yo, BlackJac, I want to hear you just do one thing for me real quick. Just look right at the camera and go, Charlie Murphy. Because I could smell your soul glow from here. That's legit.
Look at him, boy.
Spray a little of that soul glow. I'm sipping on my haterade right here. So what's the question here? Is about the PU if they don't do nothing, or we just gonna crack jokes?
I gotta wipe these tears away, man. You just had me laughing so bad, man. Oh my goodness.
Get your act together. We came to wipe it tears. The whole point is to go ahead and let these people know how much we love this stuff and how much hate and stuff like that. Go ahead, give us some of your personal stuff over there.
All right. Well, I invested big in this game. I'm Salty Mac. I bought myself, I pledged with one of them little hover scooters. That's all I got right now. But I'm about to upgrade as soon as I find somebody flying around, rock mining in an Idris or a javelin.
Oh, well, you need to go talk to that dude, the post that just left here. That's what you need to do. Go talk to that brother because he got one. Maybe you can steal his.
Hell yeah.
I'm still hating on that brother, even though I need a job to work on it probably. But, you know.
Hell yeah.
I can't say much about that.
Yeah.
So what about the question on the screen?
All right.
Now let me ask you this. This guy says, if the company fails, is CIG, right, if they fail, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Right. Here's what's gonna happen. When they fail, I'm gonna go over to Elite Dangerous, who's gonna turn it around and take over Star Citizen and make the greatest game ever made.
Oh man. Yeah, man. Elite might make that comeback, brother. You never know. Maybe they'll send all the money over there. They can sell all their tools and stuff to the folks over there at Frontier. They can make that.
Look, if Elite makes a comeback, then I'm gonna go ahead and invest in Star Atlas. I gotta tell you that much.
Oh, there you go. So either Daddy Braven or that dude selling timeshares in your last video will buy it out And then boom, they got shipping tiers. Let's go.
I like that. Hey.
I feel a 30K coming on.
That's right. No, we're gonna give you 30K. You said some good stuff.
All right, I'm out.
You said some good stuff. All right, man. Thanks a lot, Kaizen.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate
Charlie
you, brother.
Murphy.
Oh,
Charlie
Lordy. All right, who we got next? Oh, we got the man, Pops. Pops is coming back in here. He was here earlier with Griffin Kelosal. What's going on, Pops?
No, this is Pimps in Space, baby.
Oh, Lord, Pimps in Space.
That's
oh,
right.
My Lord.
If G-Loc is the player, then I'm the coach. I'll tell you that.
There you
go.
There you go. Pops, what do you think about this if the company was to go bankrupt? If they lost all their money, what would you say? As a player, what would you say?
I would say, listen, I got a diamond in the back, a sunroof top.
Digging the scene with
on a gangster league.
That's right, brother. That's it.
I'm out because a
it.
pimp don't care about nothing but his money.
Oh man, now listen, Pops. What's his name? What do you say your name was again?
Pimps in Space.
Pimps in Space. All right, Pimps, we're going to give it to you because you tried to come in here and out-hate us. You get the 30K, my brother.
You get
the 30K, my brother. You tried, but you ain't never lied. All right, we're going to move Pops on out of here.
Guarantee.
All right, so listen, we got to go to our second question. Are you ready, BlackJac?
Let's go ahead and go, G-Loc.
Right,
let's go ahead and teach these people how to play his play.
Check this one out. I found this one on Reddit. I ain't going to say where in Reddit, because I don't want to give them no play, all right? But let's just say it's probably one of the more toxic areas of Reddit, all right? Now, this is what they put down. Our favorite business people doing business. And this is what they put up. Check this out. You see that, man?
Oh, but unbelievable.
You see that, man?
What?
Now, can you believe them CIG people, that staff, that's Sean Tracy over there, and there's what's that woman's name? Sandy Roberts, Sandy Gardner Roberts, and then there's that Chris Roberts. Can you believe they actually making time to eat? Making time to have lunch or something with the dinner. I don't know what they doing, man, but they supposed to be working on the game, man.
I mean, how many course meals they got? 6? I mean, whatever they doing over there, it makes no sense. But they gotta be loving whatever they loving over there. That makes no. They should be over there playing and performing video games and stuff like that. But I got no love lost for them. You go ahead and you eat your 12-course meals over there. Probably got 3 desserts, 4 entrees, and 15 different types of large course meals over there. They eating lovely. I'm not hating.
Well, I can say you meant. Well, first of all, I know it's got to be some more people out there. I know y'all in chat. Y'all want to click on that link. I know this picture probably making you angry. I know you getting upset. You're thinking about maybe liquidating your ships because you watching these people sit here having lunch. They're supposed to be working on your game. You've been sitting here waiting all these years, and they got plenty of time to sit at a table and eat. So if you got something you want to say, y'all click on that link. Y'all come in the chat because I know one thing.
Ahead.
Well, I ain't ate yet either. I got to eat my lunch now that I think about it. I need to go
talk about the plates that they got. Are they paper plates or they porcelain?
No,
what they got over?
Some nice looking plates, man. It's probably some that plastic stuff. What they call that Dixie, that white plastic. You can hit it on the table and it don't crack. Yeah. It looked like something
like glass to me. It looked like a plastic cup.
Oh man, let's see who we got here. We got Merchant Man. Who's Merchant Man? I didn't know this is a new person. I don't think we've ever had a Merchant Man. Merchant Man, what's up? Are you here?
Speaking noise.
Yeah.
Oh,
yo,
right.
This is Merchant Man. All I gotta say is,
Lord.
I think they charging for those plays because some of us so cheap we have to go out and get into the trash and go through their scraps and see what they left behind. I mean, how much are they charging for these plays?
Well, all I know is
they ain't charging enough because there's too many of them at the table.
Well, let me find out where they're eating because I'm going to be one of the ones out in the alley trying to find them plastic
right?
plates.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
what I'm going to be trying to do. But so does this make you mad, Merchant Man? Do you get upset when you see this type of thing? Make you get your head want to explode because you say these guys should be working and instead they eating dinner, lunch, or break. I don't know what they eating. What you think about that?
I mean, they should be working 10-hour days, 6 days a week for the amount of money that they raise. They owe almost $450 million. So they should be working.
Man, 10 hours is what a regular developer works. They need to be working about 16 hours, man. They need to be working 2 shifts, man.
Oh, okay, 16. Remember that time they charged $300 for a plate? That was like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that. I was standing outside trying to figure out how to get in.
and all this.
I couldn't even make it to the airport.
And they charged $300 for a plate, and they didn't say nothing about hot dogs. You heard about that, right?
That's what I heard, brother. That's what I heard. But you know what?
Hot dogs are the new gourmet of the day.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they was gonna bring some hot dogs out when we got through here. They didn't want us to let us know that that's what they's probably trying to eat. They just trying to show off and stuff. You know, that stuff ain't real, man. But anyway,
on that food.
Yeah, well, Merchant Man, thank you for stopping in, man. We got one more out here. We're gonna drop Merchant Man.
Take care, everybody.
We gotta give him a 30K.
Merchant Man, and I'm out.
All right, he's
still
out.
Still waiting on the ship.
All right.
Still waiting on it.
Let's bring who is this coming in here? Fist to face. All right, that sounds like what the poets was talking about earlier about knocking somebody out. What's up, Fist to face?
Mm-hmm. How y'all doing? Let me say you something. Let me lay something down on y'all.
What's up?
Because what I'm hating about in this picture here is all I see at that dinner table is a sea of salt and no pepper.
Oh, what you trying to say, brother? What you trying to say?
Let me explain it to you.
What you trying to say?
Because if you step in 2 times, then you got to step back. So listen. Let me explain this to you, right? Okay? Because this is how I feel. You're diming on my dime. So check it out. I need when I need it. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. You dig? Because I feel where y'all coming from. You know? And that's exactly how the way I feel about what I see in this picture.
Well,
you know,
I'm gonna tell you something. You better than me, Jack, because I don't see no salt or pepper at that table. But I don't know.
What you see?
I don't know what you see, BlackJac. All I see is some plates and some glasses and some napkins.
Look here. I see a lot of salt and pepper at that table. It's called old age. I see a lot of that.
I hear you. Listen.
There you go.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because I'm gonna tell you like this: if this game don't come out, they're gonna find out what my name really means.
Shucks.
Trying to come in here talking some stats. We gotta get some hate, and we also give him a 30K. The brother gets a 30K. Let's move him on out of here.
On that hate.
All right. Well, listen.
How dare you talk about that group over there, that group of fine gentlemen and women over there.
All them gray hairs talking about that salt and pepper. I know that.
Salt and pepper.
Well, you know, a couple of them
plates and plastic cups.
A couple of them look like they bald. They may not have no salt and pepper. I don't know, man. But anyway. Well, listen.
Know what you call that?
We have kind of covered the ground here. So we're going to just take a quick moment for one more piece of this segment, and then we're going to close out for the day because we got a busy day today. You know, today they having this thing called a bar citizen. And I don't know, BlackJac, if you're going to be there, I'm going to try to be there. But they trying to have this thing where people can get together and talk to them about, you know, whatever's going on in Star Citizen and stuff. I don't know why people can come here and talk about it, but they're going to go to a bar citizen. But anyway, if y'all want to come, man, what is that? Man, what kind, man, what, man, I hate that, man. What you think
you don't act like you didn't come prepared. Where's your scepter at? Where you at, buddy?
Man, you look like you need to be doing imperial margarine or something, man. What is up with that type of stuff, man? Come on.
Look at here. I ain't win the best pimp of the hate year award, you know.
This brother,
I don't want it at all. That's what they call me, BlackJac.
Listen, we're gonna open up the floor for our final segment here, which is basically called Ask a Player. So if you want to come in and ask a player a question, you can come in and ask us anything in relation to this game they call Star Citizen. If you don't want to ask no questions, that's fine, but you got to come in and talk to us. Don't drop the questions in chat because we want to be able to interact with you. Because if you come here talking a lot of trash, we're going to give you a 30K. But if you think you know what you're talking about, we're going to give you a 30K too. So we're just going to spend a couple more minutes talking about that, then we're going to move on. But listen, we had a lot of cool people that dropped in today. We had Fist to Face. We had Pops in Space. We had, what was that guy's name? Merchant Man. We had CC Creator. We had the Poets came in here. We had Kaizen come in here. And we're gonna let Kai come in because I think he got a little bit more energy. He think he's gonna go a second round. I'm gonna try not to give him a 30K this time around, and we'll see if he got something to say. But he's gonna come in for Ask a Player. So Kaizen, is that you? Are you here?
Yeah, this Salty Mac with a question.
Salty Mac, I forgot that's your name.
Salty Mac for a question for the player haters.
What's the question?
How y'all gonna be a pimp in space? Tell me like your detailed plans for big pimping in space. That's all I gotta ask.
There's no restriction for pimps. We don't need to be in bars. We could be in cars. We could be in your Cadillac, or we could be in your Idris-K. Pimps around the world, because we do what we want to do. Once again, we create the game, we play the game, and we coach the game. Ain't that right, G-Loc?
All we do is play the game, brother. Players play the game. Hate.
And now the entire community gets to know forever that Griff owns that hat. We out.
I borrowed this hat from Griff. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what? You know what it's time for? It's time for another 30K. Got to get him out of here because he come here talking some crazy stuff. All right. Well,
30K, I guarantee.
Listen. We're gonna end up wrapping this up because we've had a long day, but it's been a good day. So we hope that you all have enjoyed from Griff and Kelosal, that you guys have enjoyed what you saw today, that we had a little fun. We want to be able to have fun, have good conversation. We want to thank all of the guests and the different people who came out. For those of you who became members today, who joined the YouTube channel from Griff and Kelosal and the Soul Citizens team, we want to say thank you. We appreciate them inviting us on to be their special guests. We may not be here every week. There's some other player haters that are going to be coming on board. We're excited about that. They're going to come on and share their thing, but we want y'all to be able to know that we appreciate everything that you've done. I'm just telling you that from Griffin and Kelosal, because me and BlackJac, we hate all y'all. We can't stand y'all. We hate the fact that you spent time sitting here commenting and that you came into the room, but that's us. But these other brothers,
we love to hate.
They love the fact that y'all here, so we appreciate that. BlackJac, you got anything? What? Tell them about tomorrow, BlackJac. That Prepare for Pyro show tomorrow. What? Can you tell them about that?
Hating on Pyro.
What you mean you hating on Pyro? How you gonna hate on Pyro, man? Pyro's unlawful. It's crazy. It's chaotic. That's just like you and that hairstyle. Yeah, unlawful, chaotic, and crazy. Just like your hair.
I had to get my hair straightened out. My hair was in where I was looking at my. So beautiful, with my hair over there. You understand? Guarantee. Come watch Soul Citizens and prepare for Pyro on Sunday, April 3rd, on the 22nd at 8 p.m. Once again, that is Sunday, April 3rd at 8 p.m. on Twitch TV.
Man, why don't you just say it's tomorrow? Why you got to go through all that April like you educated or something? Just say it's tomorrow, man.
I believe you hating on what I'm saying.
What you forgot today was the 2nd, huh? The crown's a little too tight, Jack. I think that's what's going on. Y'all make sure y'all show up tomorrow. It's also our 100th episode. 100 episodes of Soul Citizens, and we're gonna celebrate by giving away a MISC Hull C. For those of y'all who know what that is, I don't know what that is because I can't afford nothing much more than a Mustang. But if you want to be able to get you a Hull C, I'm gonna have to make sure I get in that giveaway. And I know BlackJac, I know you need to get in that giveaway too, because I know you've been riding around on my ship for a while. You need to go and get your own ship.
I got a Hull C. She's in my pocket waiting for me to go ahead and drive.
Oh man, here we go. All right, listen, we about to chime out. Once again, thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. Y'all have a safe weekend. Don't forget the Bar Citizen is coming up in man, what time is this? This is why I said the wrong time. What time is it, man? It's about 1 hour, man. 1 hour, 50 minutes. 50 minutes. It's 50 minutes. In 50 minutes, the Bar Citizen's up. Y'all can register. Register for that. Get in on it. We have a good time at the Bar Citizens, virtual Bar Citizen. Hang out with us, have a good conversation. Y'all can give us some feedback on the show today, whether you liked it, didn't like it, whether you didn't like BlackJac's hair, which I know all y'all gonna hate on that because you need to hate on his hair.
Ain't none of y'all got hair. Ain't none of y'all got it. Y'all got bald spots, patches, creases, whatever y'all try to do. Some of y'all got even sold in hair. Some of y'all got horse hair. Y'all ain't got this real hair floating on the side.
On that note,
bald-headed people,
as we always want to say to you guys, peace, love, and soul. Y'all take care of yourselves. We'll see y'all next Saturday on Soul Voices.